Has Kim Kardashian seen her surgeon again? Or is this a case of Ozempic? You be the judge. Kim is no stranger to rumors about plastic surgery, quick fix diets and fads, and even extreme methods used in order to lose weight. She's been at the center of it all over the years, and honestly, that's simply because we have watched her body go from fit to thick, thick to slim, slim to athletic, and so on, etc. Her behind is always a focal point, well, because it's kind of what's made her famous in a sense. Many women all over the world have desperately tried to achieve what the world has referred to as the Kardashian booty. She even had people convinced once that a pair of Skechers running shoes would help you achieve her look just by simply walking in them. Yep, those were some wild times. But all in all, Kimmy defended, many times that her waist, derriere, and other body parts, moving or not, are 100% real. And we eat it up every single time. But lately, with all of the focus on the ever-famous GLP-1 medications available like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, fans are calling her to come clean when it comes to her involvement with them. There is currently no credible information to suggest Kim Kardashian is currently using Ozempic or any other weight loss medication like it in 2025, and while rumors have circulated about her using it in the past, specifically around her 2022 Met Gala appearance, Kardashian has not publicly admitted to using Ozempic or other weight loss meds. But that doesn't mean she's not, she just might not be telling us. Kim Kardashian has consistently maintained that her weight loss is a result of a healthy lifestyle that includes, a balanced diet and regular workouts with a personal trainer. We may never know the truth, but one thing is for sure, she looks good. Now, when Kris Jenner debuted her striking facial transformation in Paris last month, the iconic momager revealed a very youthful glow, porcelain smooth cheeks, a sculpted jawline, and radiant skin that had many mistaking her for one of her daughters rather than their mother. While many have speculated over her perceived plastic surgery after people confirmed that the Kardashian star has undergone aesthetic enhancements by plastic surgeon Dr. Stephen Levine in New York City, Kris is yet herself to confirm this. However, Kim Kardashian has now reacted to her mom's new look in the most hilarious way possible. The Skims founder took to Instagram to gush over her mom's stunning transformation. Kim posted a photograph of her hairstylist, Chris Appleton, from the red carpet of Netflix Tidum 2025, the live event at the Kia Forum. Now, in the snap, Kris rocked a white t-shirt that read, "I'll have what Kris Jenner is having," in capitalized black letters. The amusing top was styled with black leather pants. Now, over the image, Kim penned at Chris Appleton, "Me too, babe," which tells us she knows exactly what her mom is doing to look her best. It is thought that Kris underwent a traditional SMAS facelift, a procedure that Dr. Levine specializes in. Are Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble headed for a separation? Well, after this footage got released, fans seem to think they might be. Here's what I know. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble appear to have some trouble in paradise. Their relationship is reportedly going through a rough patch, and it may have reached a breaking point at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. The billionaire couple's nuptials took place last week and had several A-listers in attendance for a multi-day celebration. Jenner, too, was present with her longtime partner and daughters. However, the getaway may have piqued tension between the momager and her beau. According to new claims, Gamble does not go along with the reality TV star anymore, and that may have become an issue. Kris Jenner's relationship with her longtime partner Corey Gamble allegedly soured after attending the wedding in Italy. A particularly tense exchange between the couple was caught on camera when they were leaving the nuptials. As the video went viral, expert lip reader Nicola Hickling exclusively reported what went down during the conversation. The momager supposedly did not want to share the water taxi with other celebrity guests. Her partner told a porter, "We're happy to travel on our own," adding, "It's what Kris would like to do." However, the 44-year-old seemingly did not resolve the situation. This had Jenner irked, who, according to the lip reader, said, "What are you doing? Do you need to talk?" She then apparently added, "I told you, for God's sake, I'd like to travel alone. After that, Kourtney reportedly stepped off the boat to speak with another man and confirmed that the ride would be private. The boat eventually pulled away, carrying only the two of them. Now, despite the tension, Jenner didn't forget her manners. Before sitting down, she turned to Kourtney and said, "Tell them I said thanks," after receiving a napkin from a porter to dry off. She also managed, a smile for the cameras waiting along the canal. While Kris looked stunning in a black and white gown, and the incident caught, of course, a lot of attention. Not just because of the drama, but because it showed how seriously she takes her personal space, even at a celebrity-packed event. And apparently, this heated conversation wasn't a first at all. An insider claimed that Jenner and Gamble have been drifting for quite some time. They explained that Gamble used to go along with everything. However, according to the insider, now he's pushing back. The source alleged that his partner, Kris, doesn't love that. Sounds like Kourtney is ready to gamble on his love life with Kris. I just hope the odds are in his favor, because we all know about that Kardashian curse, right? Nevertheless, Jenner smiled for the cameras while posing with Gamble as she attended the grand Bezos Sanchez wedding. The socialite star daughters Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie were also in attendance, and a source also revealed though that Kris had initially planned to attend the wedding only with daughter Kim Kardashian. However, she asked Sanchez if Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie could join too. This source said Lauren barely knows them, but Kris, somehow managed to get the extra invites. Well, that's showbiz, baby. What do you guys think? Will Kris and Kourtney rekindle their love, or is a separation on the horizon? Timothée Chalamet has some major demands while dating Kylie Jenner. Let's dig into them. Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are still going strong, at least it appears that way, as they were just photographed all over each other at a Lakers game. But apparently Timmy has a lot of demands when it comes to their relationship. Number one, well, he refuses to be a prop on the Kardashians. A source said that Timothée made his intentions very clear early that he didn't ever want to be a prop. That is why he doesn't want to be on the Kardashian show and is only ever seen with Kylie at events. He wants to be one of the Hollywood greats and wants to avoid falling into the trap of being known simply for who he is dating. It would be gut-wrenching. They both know that if he started appearing on the family show, then they basically wouldn't work. I mean, this might also be a loophole to avoiding being hit with the infamous Kardashian curse, right? All of their exes have appeared on the show, so let's wait this one out, yeah? Now, the source also implies that Timmy has a no social media rule, saying we don't see Kylie posting her relationship with Timothée, and that's because she wants to keep him around. She loves him and they see a future together, so if keeping him off, her social works, then she will continue to do so. They also don't talk about each other in interviews or acknowledge their relationship other than attending events together and sharing the occasional kiss directly in front of a camera. A lot of rules, but they seem to be working because another insider says little Timmy Tim is so happy right now. He has the career he dreamed of and is madly in love with her. He is not looking to mess that up either. So on another related note, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet finally made their red carpet debut after 2 years of dating. The couple, who reportedly started dating around April 2023, posed for pictures outside the 70th annual David D. Donatello Awards in Italy on Wednesday, making their red carpet debut as a couple. Now, Jenner and Chalamet avoided walking the carpet together throughout awards season, while the actor was repeatedly nominated for his role as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. Many hoped the two would make their first red carpet appearance at the 2025 Met Gala on Monday. However, the beauty mogul ultimately showed up solo as Chalamet stayed home. Now, in pictures from Wednesday's ceremony in Europe, Jenner and Chalamet are seen cuddled up next to each other, holding hands and whispering in each other's ears. Now, the reality star dressed in a very low-cut, beaded black gown with a gold-hued clutch, while the, Call Me By Your Name star wore a double-breasted black velvet suit with a white rose brooch. Now, the pair's pictures come a few weeks after Chalamet's mother, Flender, shared her thoughts about their relationship. Speaking with Kourtney, Flender said she thought Jenner was lovely. She's very nice to me, she continued before discussing her son's decision to actually buy a house in Beverly Hills, California, near Jenner's home for a whopping $11 million. Flender said, did he ask for advice? No, he said, guess what, I bought a house. Aside from Flender's comments, the couple has kept the details of their romance under wraps. However, they've made a number of public appearances, just not on the carpet. From Coachella in April to date nights in Paris. Will they last throughout the summer? Kim Kardashian scolds her security guard for stepping on her Met Gala dress. The reality TV star was leaving the Mark Hotel in New York City alongside her daughter Northwest when a security guard accidentally trips on the train of her outfit. After stumbling forward, she angrily turns towards the man and said something to him before she held up her hand with a harsh look on her face. Kim was seen by fans angrily just looking back at the guard and mouthing a very nasty foul word before brushing off the very awkward moment. Kim appeared to have recovered from the near fall by the time she reached the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where she took time to pose for photographs on the blue carpet at the Tailored for You inspired bash. The awkward moment was caught on camera and of course shared to TikTok. Now tension seemingly did not end there as Kim glared back while hopping into a pickup vehicle before hitting the famous steps at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Now Kim decided to wear some leather in a long bodycon dress with matching large fedora by Chrome Hearts. Now the look was definitely representative of the tailoring black style theme, as it took inspiration from the zoot suit outfits worn by black men in the 1930s and 1940s. Kim accessorized with several diamond necklaces which cascaded down her chest along with matching dangling earrings. Her raven colored locks were worn down, and though most of her face was covered up by her fashionable headwear, it could be seen that she was wearing plenty of makeup. Meanwhile, Northwest teased her debut at the Met Gala 2025 alongside her mother amid a bitter custody drama with Kanye West, which ultimately, did not happen. Now the Nepo baby showcased her wild style as the two posted for a few TikToks together showing off their looks. North wore a matching cowhide jacket and shorts combination along with black Nike high crew socks and a pair of black leather Rick Owens sneakers, which retail for a whopping $1,200. She accessorized with several long silver necklaces as well and some turquoise and silver earrings. Now North also added a bit of color to her hair with varying shades of blue dye in her long locks, which were pulled into braids that kind of cascaded down to her hip as well. North also wore plenty of makeup, including some lipstick. Now their appearance comes just days after Kim's ex Kanye West complained about actually not being able to see his kids in a live stream on Wednesday. The Chicago native, who has publicly clashed ex-wife Kim about her parenting of their daughter. On Wednesday, West vented about not seeing North, as well as his three younger kids, daughter Chicago and sons Saint and Psalm. Now Kardashian has faced a Met wardrobe blip before. In 2023, she wore a Shirapelli haute couture gown created with more than 50,000 freshwater pearls and 16,000 crystal pearls, and it was as risky as it sounds. Now after attending the star-studded event, Kardashian made her way back to the hotel by car, but when she exited the vehicle, a few strings of pearls towards the bottom of the garment came undone. She also caused quite the stir in 2022 after she infamously slipped into one of Marilyn Monroe's dresses from 1962, which appeared to have some damage at the seams following Kardashian's wear. But it was later confirmed by Ripley's Believe It or Not, where she sourced the artifact, that she had nothing to do with the incident.
Starting off, we have to talk about her infamous tape with her then boyfriend Ray J. Now the tape was leaked in 2007 and it thrusted Kim into the spotlight, but for all the wrong reasons. Now Kim sued Vivid Entertainment for ownership of the tape, and in late April 2007, Kim dropped the suit and settled for $5 million. Now, many people judged her for this, and in 2022, there were actually rumors that there was a second part of the tape that was going to get leaked. Now, it was said this leak was done by Ray J, but years later, he's spoken out and claimed that the famous family story was a lie. He said, "I sat in the shadows for over 14 years, allowing the Kardashians to use my name, to abuse my name, make billions of dollars over a decade and a half, talking about a topic I've never really spoken about. I've never leaked anything. I've never leaked a tape in my life." Now he claims that Kim and Kris negotiated the release of the tape in the early 2000s. Kris apparently watched 3 different Ray J and Kim tapes and chose to leak the one that gave her daughter a better look, which is honestly just so gross. Now since then, Kris has denied being a part of the leak, but it really wouldn't surprise me if she actually was. Then there was the time in 2024 where she offended a lot of people with what she wore to a wedding. In July, Kim and her sister Khloe attended the lavish wedding of billionaire heir Anant Ambani and his fiancée in India. The sisters looked stunning at the traditional wedding, but for one of the events, Kim wore red, which is considered by some to break the Hindu wedding etiquette. Now, the color red is generally reserved for the bride, and it's often frowned upon for guests to wear red. It's practically like if you wore white to someone else's wedding in the Western world. It's a big no-no. Now, after sharing photos of her outfit on Instagram, Kim faced backlash from her followers who thought it was an inappropriate outfit choice and called out her lack of respect. Now, Kim chose not to respond to the comments, but fans were disappointed that she didn't research the culture beforehand to know what was acceptable. Controversy also arose when it was announced that Kim would appear on Variety's Actors on Actors. Now, Kim starred in one season of American Horror Story, which some fans didn't even like to begin with. Now, there was outrage, but Kim still did the interview, and she was partnered with Chloe Sevigny, who, like Kim, had also worked with Ryan Murphy. Although Chloe allegedly wasn't initially supposed to be Kim's interview partner, the interview itself went well. But viewers online were offended that Kim was being called an actor though. Kim Kardashian's work on one season of American Horror Story does not put her on par with anyone on this list. She's nowhere near their level of talent and many accomplishments, one person said. Kim Kardashian, can we be serious please? While another chimed in, Kim Kardashian is not an actor. Now, a few fans even accused the star of paying her way onto the series. Real actors exist, why did Kim K pay to be there? Then there's everything with Taylor Swift. Now, she and Kim have a bad relationship because of Kanye West. Now, we all know that Taylor Swift and Kanye West have a history, and when Kanye released his song Famous, in which he calls out Taylor Swift by name, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex, why I made that be famous. Taylor Swift's reps shared a statement saying that Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric "I made that be famous" in the song. Now later, Kim graced the cover of GQ and paired it with an in-depth interview where she discussed how Taylor had approved the lyric per a recorded phone conversation between the two singers. Kim then posted a video of Taylor and Kanye on the phone discussing the songs, which proved that Taylor was lying. Now the whole internet turned against Taylor, with Kim leading the hate train. But in 2020, the full phone call between Kanye and Taylor was leaked, proving Taylor was telling the truth and that Kim lied and edited the phone call conversation to make it look like Taylor was in the wrong. At the 2022 Met Gala, Kim Kardashian arrived in the iconic "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" Marilyn Monroe dress. She was granted special access to wear this as it is kept in a museum, but most of the general public didn't like this and thought that the dress should have been left alone. Besides that, Kim revealed that she had to lose 16 pounds in 3 weeks in order to fit into the gown. You see, the dress couldn't be altered to fit her, so she had to alter herself to fit into the dress. There was drama about how she lost her weight and whether it was healthy or not, but that got covered up though with another scandal, as it was claimed that Kim actually damaged and ripped the real Marilyn Monroe dress. Now, she denied it, but a Monroe collector is claiming that the dress has sustained permanent damage as a result. After Kim returned the dress, Scott Fortner shared photos of the dress taken that appear to show stretched and buckling fabric, along with missing crystals or ones left hanging by a thread, as it appears that Kim has damaged the dress, which is something that people were worried about, and it actually happened. Now, Kim had another scandal at the Met Gala too, where she wore a dress with a corset so tight her waist was pretty much invisible. I mean, it was so tight people were worried for the star, wondering how she could even breathe. People online were also angry though, because she was promoting yet again another unhealthy beauty standard. People were shocked by this and angered with the star. I'm not saying the media is to blame for young women's eating disorders, but Kim Kardashian crushing her organs to be thin on a red carpet sure doesn't effing help. Now, some celebrities also spoke spoke out about this like Jamila Jamil. She said, "The media has created a cycle of obsessing over Kim's body and teaching the public that this is the image to warrant attention and praise, and then they blame her for her impact on our beauty standards. She has no impact without attention. Who gives celebrities attention? The media and us," she said. Now, regardless, the look was crazy and Kim shouldn't be hurting herself like that, just all in the name for fashion. Now, Kim hasn't had the best luck when it comes to love because she once had a marriage that lasted for only 72 days. Yeah, she was married to Kris Humphries and they made a lot of money with their photos and filming the whole experience on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Now, when Kim ended things though, Kris was blindsided by this as he felt that they were truly in love, and he cited fraud as a reason for wanting an annulment. Now, following their split, Kris's lawyer told the Los Angeles Fraud Court that Kim had no intentions of proceeding with this marriage, and if you look at the evidence, it seems to be true. Now, I honestly kind of feel bad for Kris and him going through all of that. Then there was the time Kim bought one of Princess Diana's necklaces at an auction. Kim snagged the diamond-encrusted amethyst Atala cross pendant famously worn by Princess Diana for $197,453 in 2023. Now, in November, Kim attended the 2024 LACMA Art Plus Film Gala, where she wore a dramatic white dress with a plunging neckline. Now, people called out Kim for wearing the necklace though, writing that it was weird that she would continue to wear pieces once owned by deceased celebrities, and they felt that she was trying to upstage Diana. Now, others called the move disrespectful. Some felt her wearing it with that dress was offensive to the religious symbol. Why are we still giving this woman precious heirlooms like Diana's necklace after she broke Marilyn's dress? Wrote one commenter on Instagram. And I mean, Kim has the money to do these things, but should she be allowed to do it? I don't think so. Now, Kim was also called out for doing blackface while promoting her beauty products. Now, afterwards, she told the New York Times, "I would obviously never want to offend anyone. I used an amazing photographer and a team of people. I was really tan when we shot the images, and it might be that the contrast was off. But I showed the image to many people, to many in the business. No one brought that to our attention, no one mentioned it."
The Kardashian-Jenner family is no stranger to drama, but recent events have reignited speculation about the true nature of Kim and Kourtney Kardashian's relationship. A leaked audio clip widely circulated online has sparked outrage among fans and fueled rumors that Kim Kardashian secretly harbors deep resentment towards her older sister Kourtney. This controversy has not only captivated the public, but also exposed the ongoing complex feud between the two sisters. Sisterly tensions between Kim and Kourtney have played out in front of cameras on the reality show for years. What began as a playful bickering has over time evolved into more serious disagreements about family, business, and personal values. The feud reached new heights during recent seasons, with both sisters exchanging pointed words and accusations. One of the most notable flashpoints was Kourtney's wedding to Travis Barker. Kim's involvement in a Dolce & Gabbana campaign using similar themes and aesthetics to Kourtney's Italian wedding was perceived by Kourtney as a deliberate attempt to upstage her. Kourtney accused Kim of sabotaging her in her special moment, feeling suspicions of underlying jealousy and rivalry. About 2 years ago, Kourtney openly accused Kim of being a narcissist and orchestrating a not Kourtney group chat behind her back. According to Kourtney, this secret chat was used by Kim and other family members to criticize her, further deepening the sense of betrayal. Kourtney's frustration was palpable as she confronted Kim about the chat, saying, "You are a narcissist. Anything you do, it's about you and about how it looks to the world around you." She also accused Kim of trying to sabotage her happiness. These confrontations have been described as some of the most explosive in the family's history, with both sisters airing grievances that have simmered for years. Many fans have taken to social media to voice their support for Kourtney or Kim, accusing Kim of being manipulative and self-centered. Others argue that the feud is being exaggerated for publicity, pointing to the family's long history of using personal drama to boost ratings and maintain relevance. Some fans have expressed disappointment in both sisters, lamenting the apparent breakdown of a family unit. The controversy has also reignited debates about the pressures of fame and the toll it takes on personal relationships. As As one Reddit user commented, "It's sad to see sisters tear each other down like this, no matter how famous they are." At the heart of the feud lies a fundamental clash of values. Kim has long been seen as the family's ambitious, business-minded leader, while Kourtney has prioritized her personal life and mental health. This difference in priorities has led to repeated clashes, with Kim accusing Kourtney of not pulling her weight, and Kourtney accusing Kim of putting business above family. While some believe the drama is exaggerated for the cameras, the raw emotions and pointed accusations suggest that the rift is all too real. As the reality TV world watches, the Kardashian sisters must navigate the fallout, balancing their personal grievances with the demands of fame and family legacy. Whether they can heal their relationship remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the public fascination with their feud is far from over. Back in 2014 to 2016, Kris really did have to work to prevent some photos from leaking. The unexpected part was that they were her own private images because someone had hacked her iCloud. Christina, aka the woman that hacked the iCloud, was indicted by a grand jury in 2016. Not only did she hack the cloud, she also sent some pretty messed up texts to Kris and co, assistant, then husband, and other family members. She also, I guess, sent texts pretending to be Kris to Kris's kids and partner. She claimed that she put tracking devices on their cars and would message people that Kris had serious diseases, but it goes even further. The hacker also impersonated the famous matriarch over the phone, allegedly even occasionally calling the authorities with fake emergencies or swatting the family. Swatting referring to calling in fake emergencies that are serious enough to have someone's home checked out by SWAT teams. Just overall being an absolute headache and causing a lot of heartache. Then, of course, there were the accusations regarding social media, because if the hacker got into the iCloud, it really would only be a matter of time before social media sites like Instagram would be compromised. Allegedly, the hacker posted demeaning things about Kris's family as Kris, even going so far as to post phone numbers. And for a family as famous as this, that really is a big problem. Plus, no one wants their mom roasting them on the internet. It was also revealed that the stalker somehow got access to Kourtney's AOL account, so that means she didn't just get the username and password, but answers to the security questions too. The hacker did allegedly get access to the famous sisters' emails. It actually ended up happening again with someone else in the family, however, the persecutors were reluctant to share their name. Per E-Online, the stalker was indicted for 6 counts of stalking, 4 counts of computer hacking, 1 count of extortion by threat, and 4 counts of aggravated identity theft related to the computer hacking offenses. Just like a laundry list of bad things. This isn't even the first time that Kris Jenner has been hacked, and I almost wonder if Christina was helped by a previous incident. Back in 2013, Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian's contact information was leaked by hackers and posted to a website which is like a bunch of other celebrities' personal data. Just a few years ago, an unauthorized photo of Khloe Kardashian was accidentally shared, leading to the famous family doing everything they could to scrub it from the internet. Here's the thing, the photo isn't scandalous, it isn't unflattering, in my opinion, she isn't doing anything offensive. It is literally just a photo of Khloe in a bikini by the pool. She's holding her phone in one hand and smiling for the camera, and that is literally it. That's the whole photo. However, there isn't any filter on the photo. Many photos posted by the sisters and, well, a lot of big celebrities, they use filters to smooth out the skin, smooth out the makeup, shape the body, whatever, right? People are used to seeing an airbrushed look to the family that getting an unfiltered iPhone photo shot was definitely a moment. However, they do occasionally post unfiltered photos, so why was this one a big deal? Well, they said the internet couldn't have it and started contacting people to take it down or risk legal action. So pretty soon, people started sharing it simply because they were told no. Then it became people wanting to see the photo that people were risking legal action from one of Hollywood's richest families for. Then people just being confused why she would want the picture to disappear considering she looks good. Eventually, fans got answers. The reason it had to go was simply because it was unauthorized. One of the many Kardashian or Jenner assistants posted the photo without, I guess, checking the right avenues. The official statement from Chief KKW Marketing Officer Tracy Romulus was, "The color-edited photo was taken of Khloe during a private family gathering and posted to social media without permission by mistake by an assistant. Khloe looks beautiful, but it is within the right of the copyright owner to not want an image not intended to be published taken down." For a family of women that have had their every move picked apart, it's understandable that they would want to control exactly what gets out there about them. Of course, the picture is still out on the internet. Khloe ended up posting some photos herself shortly after this went viral. Right now, having a photo with Diddy is like a guilty verdict to the internet, and Kris Jenner doesn't just have one, she's got a whole collection, plus past interviews with him, even one where he admitted that he once had a crush on her. Yeah, so the Kardashian Jenners, it's no secret that to help maintain their status, they interact with other people at the same level of fame, and like it or not, Diddy was one of those people. He was at the top of the food chain when it came to hosting parties parties and having famous friends. Kris Jenner posted many selfies with the man over the years. It appears that she was quite close with him, and one can assume that she and her daughters received many invites to his parties. I mean, we know that they did because they have been photographed and videotaped at them many times. This has led to people wondering what the famous family knew and if they kept anything quiet. Khloe once spoke about her experience at a Diddy party in a 2014 episode of the reality show. She made claims that many of the attendees were unclothed, and then previously in the episode she had been talking about all the big names that she saw there, and now of course people are wondering if she was at just like a regular Diddy party or the type that he is now in jail for. But back to Kris Jenner, because there is an absolutely wild story circulating online right now regarding the matriarch. One woman that is claimed to be a Diddy victim has shared a troubling story involving not just the disgraced rapper, but also Kris Jenner and Jennifer Lopez. Adria English joined the Lionel B Show podcast to share a story from someone she knew that was allegedly a Diddy victim. She claims that her homegirl was harmed in a ritual to conjure up demons, that J-Lo was damaging her skin using glass, and that Kris Jenner watched. English claims that in order for the girl to escape, she had to pierce Kris's shoulder with the glass. English says that if you look back at past interviews, Kris says that she'd once been pierced. Different word, but hopefully you get it. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find anything that indicated that Kardashian has ever been involved in an incident like that. She doesn't appear to have a scar on either of her shoulders either, and she's worn a lot of clothes that's shown off her shoulders and collarbone. The interview has gathered about 710,000 views on YouTube, with a comment section overwhelmingly in favor of English. Again, I couldn't find anything to support her claims, but Diddy's trial is coming up very soon, so maybe we will get answers then. In an early season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you might have seen Kim and Kourtney pretty upset over some photos nearly being leaked to the press. Well, fan speculation and fact go hand in hand. Kim K's first husband seemingly wasn't the nicest guy. There are court documents that accuse the man of being physically and mentally rough with the reality TV star. Of course, this was like before the show, so we never actually saw any of that on camera, but the description of the alleged events are hard to read. Anyways, they speculate that this ex-husband was threatening to release some photos of Kourtney, or like Kim and Kourtney, that had them in compromising positions on their own, and some people even claim with each other, which is a whole other can of worms and is generally proven to be false or a salacious rumor. The photos that have been like confirmed to nearly have been leaked by the ex, they only show Kourtney. However, she isn't in a great position, and to make matters worse, the family claims that she wasn't 18 yet, so yeah, no wonder they didn't want this hitting the press. People speculate that Kim was involved in the photos young too, because she was very upset about the thought of them getting released. However, considering what we know about her first husband, the reaction does make sense. And then finally, Caitlyn Jenner did cause an accident that led to a fatality. Despite having such a serious outcome, people don't really talk about this a lot. It did happen while Caitlyn was like coming out, so people were focused on something very different. However, fans online speculate that the family has done things to minimize the media coverage of the incident. In the end, it's not difficult information to find if you're looking for it, and once you go searching, you will see that. Though Jenner didn't go to jail for the incident, she did have to pay about $800,000 to settle one of the lawsuits. It was found that Jenner was going under the speed limit and did hit the brakes, but it wasn't enough to stop the incident from happening. Honestly, it is a miracle that things didn't go worse. Jenner caused a 4-car pileup, one of which had a whole family inside, including young ones. While it is heartbreaking that not everyone made it out, the medical team was able to save most of that family with minimal injuries.
Kim Kardashian was caught saying a derogatory word about a specific group of people during a promotional clip being filmed for her Skims shapewear line, and she thought no one was filming. A clip got leaked of behind-the-scenes footage from the promotional video shoot. Kim assumed the cameras were all shut off by now, and so she let her guard down, using a very unflattering term to describe a particular demographic. After facing backlash, she apologized for it and said it was meant to only be heard by her friends who were unable to identify her Halloween costume. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star posted a series of videos on her Instagram story from sister Kendall Jenner's Halloween bash, where she quizzed fellow partygoers on who she was dressed up as, donning a furry hat, tight white corset, and bombshell blonde hair Kardashian West and BFF Jonathan Cheban, also known as Food God, channeled Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee from the 1999 VMAs. However, hardly anyone at the party could actually tell that's who they were. Nobody knows who we are here. That's what she kept saying during one of the videos. Now, she said, "You guys are all too young. This is so sad." And in another video that has now since of course been deleted, the mother of four told former assistant Stephanie Shepard, who did recognize her look, she said, "Nobody knows who I am." Yeah. Then she said the R word that I will not say, but you can guess what it is that I'm referring to. The derogatory word was instantly met with backlash. One Twitter user challenged Kardashian to do better. This user wrote on Twitter, she said, "R word is not a synonym for stupid. It's actually an offensive term to a vulnerable population of people with intellectual disabilities and to those who love them." Another person also slammed the makeup mogul's word choice and said, "That was a really unnecessary use of the word. I think we should all know and do better by now. It breaks my heart and angers my soul when I hear that word thrown around, knowing the pain that it carries." Another person shared a similar opinion and tweeted, "So people that don't know who you are for Halloween are blank? Really? Shake my head. Maybe you should spend time with people with disabilities. That way you can show more empathy towards those that are special needs." Kardashian, of course, deleted the video from her Instagram account and apologized for using the word, she said in a statement to USA Today. She said, "I want to apologize for what I said in a recent video post that is inappropriate and insensitive to the special needs community. I try to learn from my mistakes and this is one of those times." She continued to say, "Please know that my intention is always pure, and in this case, it was a mistake. I'm sorry." Kim Kardashian decided to turn an ice bath into a bizarre shower scene of sorts during last week's episode of the Kardashians. Kim, her sister Khloe, and momager Kris Jenner decided to take a luxurious RV out to Joshua Tree for a one-night camping excursion. The campsite wasn't quite what they expected though, with very few amenities, which apparently didn't include any kind of working shower. After a date out in the dusty campsite, Kim, who recently revealed her connection to Bill Gates' daughter, declared she had never felt dirtier, adding that she needs to shower. Since the RV apparently didn't have a shower either, Kim decided to take matters into her own hands with a bikini-clad ice bath that Khloe felt was inappropriate. She even compared it to a scene in an R-rated movie as cameras caught Kim lathering herself up. Khloe and Kris watched as Kim tried to walk up the wooden steps into the ice bath, but started freaking out and running away as Kim ultimately realized the small light stuck into the ground touched her leg. Khloe and Kris sat down and watched as Kim took off her white robe, revealing a beige bikini top and matching skim shapewear. She got into the ice bath with a loofah and soap, and as Kim lathered herself up and proclaimed, "Oh, I feel so much better already," Khloe added in confession, "Kim taking her bath with her loofah, like you just brought a loofah with you camping? Where did this come from? It feels very inappropriate." Khloe even mocked her sister lathering herself up while adding, "Me watching her do this feels very inappropriate." Many people took to social media to react to this episode, saying it was inappropriate and it shouldn't have been filmed or aired. Some people thought it was in good fun and didn't bother to care too much. Either way, the damage is done. When KKW Beauty launched in 2017, Kim Kardashian was accused of darkening her skin tone in a promotional image. When the star shared the promotional images for her beauty brand's contour kits in June of 2017, she faced swift backlash, with some social media users accusing her of darkening her skin tone. Some even accused Kardashian of wearing blackface. She told the New York Times later that month, "I would obviously never want to offend anyone. I used an amazing photographer and a team of people. I was really tan when we shot the images, and it might be that the contrast was off. Of course, I have the utmost respect for why people might feel the way they did, but we made the necessary changes to that photo and the rest of the photos. We saw the problem and we adapted and changed right away. Definitely I've learned from it." Now, she later spoke about the photos on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She said in the episode, "Oh my gosh, I'm seeing these photos from the campaign, the ones that we took, and people online are saying that I'm doing blackface, but I would never in a million years be disrespectful and do that." People didn't buy her apology, of course, and fans have been accusing her of intentionally doing this ever since. In June 2019, Kardashian was accused of cultural appropriation when she initially named her shapewear line Kimono. As Kardashian was prepping to launch her new shapewear line in 2019, she announced the name of the new brand, which of course again was Kimono, which was just a play on the star's name. Yet Kimono and Kardashian, were accused of cultural appropriation and insensitivity towards the significance of kimonos in Japanese culture. The mayor of Kyoto even penned an open letter to Kardashian asking her not to use the name. Kardashian later addressed the controversy in an interview with WSJ magazine. She said in July of 2019, "You would think we would have obviously thought it through a little bit deeper. I'm the first person to say, okay, of course, I can't believe we didn't think of this. I obviously had really innocent intentions, but let's listen." And I want to really listen, and I want to really take it all in. I do love Japan. My husband was in Japan when all of this was happening. It's a place that we love and go to. I have such respect. In August of 2019, Kardashian then launched her shapewear line under the new name, as we know now, Skims. Kim Kardashian was accused of not knowing her own privilege when she told Variety that it seems like nobody wants to work these days. Who can forget this one, right? We all know she wishes this video footage would just disappear. In an interview with Variety published in March 2022, Kim, Khloe, Kourtney, and Kris spoke about their respective businesses and shared advice for other women in business. She said, "It seems like nobody wants to work these days. You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do because you have one life. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work." Her comments drew backlash from people who cited her privileged upbringing and celebrity status, which has helped in catapulting her businesses to new heights. Kardashian later apologized for the comments, which she said were just taken out of context. Kardashian told ABC News that statement, she said, without questions and conversation around it, saying that the previous question had been about her being famous for being famous. It became a soundbite really with no context. Kim was accused of rocking a racist hairstyle. Kim has been accused of cultural appropriation at least 3 times in recent years after rebranding, historic hairstyles, and so on and so forth. Now, this first came in 2016 when she became obsessed with the look the family renamed boxer braids. But the hairstyle, which Kim was accused of taking the credit for, was actually just cornrows. In 2018, she courted controversy again after renaming another hairstyle the Bo Derek. Culture experts told Allure that they were actually Fulani braids and had been worn by Black women for years, decades, centuries, even millennials. Now, 6 months later after that, Kim sparked outrage again when she donned braids for the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Twitter users fumed over the style being considered cool on Kim, but unkept or unprofessional on Black women. During an interview with Bustle, Kim defended herself and claimed she didn't see the backlash over her donning braids in the past. She said, "I did that look. North said she wanted braids and asked if I would do them, and that's what she did."
Kendall and Kylie aren't usually too involved in the show. Their fight was the main story of the show. It all started when the whole family, including Kris's boyfriend Corey Gamble, were out in Palm Springs for a family vacation. And everything seemed to be, going pretty well with all of them drinking while getting ready for a night out. But it took a nasty turn when both Kendall and Kylie realized that they both didn't have anything to wear out, because they both just packed pretty casual outfits. They didn't realize they'd be going out to a club. That's when Kourtney decided to offer Kendall an outfit, but Kylie ended up taking it first. After that scuffle, Kendall and Kylie were at each other's throats the rest of the night, and Kendall was more than a little mad that Kylie hijacked her outfit. Around this time, we see that Kylie and Corey are bonding pretty well, with Kylie admitting that Corey is her rock in a lot of ways, and they're clearly very close. With Kendall very mad, and she blurts out that Kylie ruined her whole night, while Kylie responds that she's not gonna let Kendall ruin her night. Since Kendall was mad after dinner, she decided to sleep in the car instead of going to the drag show with Kylie and the rest of their family. But the fight picks up big time after the night is finished and Corey, Kendall, and Kylie get into the same car. While they're driving away, Kendall asks if the driver needs her address to drop her back at her house. But Kylie claps back that she's not going to drive her all the way home, and they never agreed for Kendall to be dropped off. Corey then gets involved, saying that they should call another car for Kendall. But this fight got nasty fast, and it cuts to the car with Kris, Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe. And Kourtney answers her phone to hear Kendall and Kylie screaming at the top of their lungs at each other, with all of them yelling and swearing at each other like crazy. Kim then called security as she heard Kendall claimed Kylie put a high heel to her neck, and Kylie said that Kendall slapped her, with it ending with the women picking up Kendall from the side of the road, and Kendall claiming that Corey said "F you" to her face. And Kendall then said she will never talk to Kylie again. Then it cuts to Kylie defending Corey, saying Kendall's overreacting and he was only trying to break up the fight. And of course, after all of that, there were a lot of reactions to this online, with a lot of people calling out Corey for clearly playing favorites with Kylie and throwing Kendall on the side of the road like it was nothing. And also, Kylie was being called out for allegedly digging a heel into her sister's neck. Like, if that's true, that is way too far. Like, I know sisters fight, but that is outrageous.
But also some people were calling out both of the sisters, saying that they both overreacted and it's ridiculous that this all started over clothes. But since they are sisters, obviously, they're gonna get in fights about dumb stuff like that, so it's not out of the question. And Kim actually responded on Twitter that the reason that there was no footage of them in the car is that in Kylie's car, they were not filming, and it was only the car that the other women, Kris, Kim, Khloe, Kourtney, were in.
In at number 10, Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey also exposed Kim for being a little too friendly with the paparazzi in order to get some publicity from him. The singer claims that Kim might have only been dating him for publicity. Apparently, the pair only dated for about a week, and some shady stuff went down. One time he said, let's just say this, we went to a movie, no one followed us there. Somehow, mysteriously, when we left, there were 30 photographers waiting outside. And I think from that story, it's very clear that Kim was tipping off the paparazzi, so there would be photos of them together. And if you didn't already know, unless someone is like incredibly famous, if they're a paparazzi when they are out, they definitely tipped off that paparazzi. In at number 9, Jon Hamm. The Mad Men star definitely has some choice words for the Kardashians, and based off what he said, it's clear he does not like the family and doesn't approve of how they rose to fame. With him telling LUK, whether it's Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or whoever, stupidity is certainly celebrated. Being an idiot is a valuable commodity in this culture because you're rewarded significantly. It's celebrated. It doesn't make sense to me. So clearly he doesn't like the reality TV stars whatsoever and doesn't like how our society praises socialites like Paris Hilton and the Kardashians. And I kinda get where he's going. He has some valid points. In at number 8, Kristin Cavallari. Kristin Cavallari has a very interesting relationship with the Kar Jenner clan. It all started when Kristin dated Brody Jenner, and through that relationship she also became friends with the Kardashians. But after Brody and Kristin broke up, there was tension between Kristin and Kourtney Kardashian. After Kourtney caught Scott out with Kristin while they were in an off period. And after that, Kristin called out the family for using that information as a publicity stunt to get viewers to their show. And allegedly, after rumors broke that Kristin and Scott were having an affair, the Kardashians refused to deny it and instead waited to address it on their show, leaving Kristin looking like, the bad, terrible other woman when it just wasn't even true. More than a little shady if you ask me. In at number 7, Barack Obama. Former President Barack Obama also couldn't hold his tongue when talking about the famous family, and it's definitely quite the compliment when the president is speaking about you. Or is it? The former president was talking about the changing dynamics of the American dream and how it's shifting with time, saying, there was not that window into the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Kids weren't monitoring every day what Kim Kardashian was wearing or where Kanye West was going on vacation, and thinking that somehow was the mark of success. And ouch, here it's pretty obvious he was throwing some major shade their way. And he doesn't seem to like how they are now the standard for what success is. And apparently Kanye West did not like those comments and actually fired back at the president. But also, since Obama was a former president, I trust his opinion and judgment way more than Kanye's. And at number 6, Kris Humphries. Kris Humphries was someone who probably challenged the Kardashian family the most and exposed secrets about them I'm sure they did not want out. Kim and Kris got married in one of the most lavish televised ceremonies ever, but famously, after only 72 days, the couple split because Kim was having second thoughts. But based off how much content their reality shows got because of that relationship, then the breakup, Kris called Kim out for fraud, arguing that the whole relationship was just a publicity stunt. And their divorce was so messy it lasted 2 whole years before it was finalized. But during the massive trial, Kris exposed that a lot of the Kardashian show was scripted, and that the show purposefully made him look bad. Like when him and Scott threw a party in one episode while the girls were out of town, and they looked really horrible for going behind their backs when they told them not to have the party. The whole thing was actually just a huge sham, with Kim and Kourtney knowing about the party and acting like they didn't know for TV, in turn making Kris look like a terrible husband when it literally wasn't like that at all. Halfway at number 5, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson revealed on a radio show that she was presented an opportunity to present an award with Kendall and Kylie Jenner, but Wilson ended up turning it down, with her saying in the interview, I got asked to present with Kendall and Kylie at the recent VMAs and said no. It's not that you hate any of them individually, but it's just that everything they stand for is against everything I stand for, and they're not famous for talent.
I've worked really hard to get where I've gotten to. And even though a lot of people who dislike the Kardashians share the same sentiments, Oprah Winfrey actually came to their defense against Wilson, if you can believe it, with Oprah saying that she couldn't believe how hard the family works, referencing when she filmed the family for Oprah's show, with crews taping the family for 7 hours straight, and then they filmed more of their reality show after. So, as we all know, the Kardashian family really works very hard, even though it doesn't seem like they do too much. And at number 4, Bette Midler. After Kim uploaded her incredibly famous nude selfie where she covered her, nether regions with just like black bars, the internet went ablaze talking about it. One of the people that didn't hold their tongue was Bette Midler, who tweeted out, "Kim Kardashian tweeted a nude selfie today. If Kim wants us to see a part of her we've never seen, she's gonna have to swallow the camera." Which, come on, you have to admit, it's pretty hilarious. Like, even if you like the Kardashians, like, it's a good tweet. As a clapback, Kim tweeted out that it was past Bette's bedtime and that she was a fake friend. And Bette responded back, "Looks like anyone can take a selfie, but not everyone can take a joke." And then she lightened the tension by posting her own nude. When talking about the feud later, Bette had no hard feelings and said she takes Twitter pretty lightly and hoping that Kim did the same. Hopefully Kim wasn't actually too peeved about that. I mean, come on, it was clearly a joke. I don't know. And at number 3, Wendy Williams. If you watch Wendy's show, which I definitely do on occasion, she spills the tea like nobody else, then you know she does not like the Kardashians and is always very blunt when talking about them. But Wendy got the spot of a Kardashian hater when she made some shady comments about Kim after her robbery incident. And when talking about the incident in Paris, Wendy said, "I would hope that she's not making any part of this up for dramatic effect. Because this family, they're kind of soulless. You can't believe everything that you hear. But this was very, very upsetting." And although I do not agree with Wendy at all that the Paris incident was a publicity stunt, a lot of people did feel that the incident could have been exaggerated by the family for views, with people citing numerous times in the past that this has happened with the family. And again, I do not agree, but I mean, she just brought it up as kind of a possibility, and obviously, she loves to shade them whenever she can. And at number 2, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is another Kardashian ex who was ousted from the family after her and Rob's relationship ended. And you know that whatever went down was bad, because the family is still nice to Tristan and not Chyna, even though Tristan is arguably way worse and embarrassed them so much more. The first of the feud was surrounding the fact that Kylie started dating Tyga, who was Chyna's ex. Then Chyna started dating Rob. And then the two got engaged and then pregnant very quickly. But after they had Dream, the whole thing fell apart and Chyna and the Kardashians were facing off on social media. Chyna even filed a lawsuit against the family, claiming that they stopped her show Rob and Chyna from getting a second season. A judge dismissed that case, but Chyna still shades the Kardashians whenever she can. And at number 1, Anna Wintour. This last one is something that I had no idea existed, but it's probably the shadiest one of all. So Vogue is one of the most prestigious magazines to be on the cover of, and Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were put on the cover in a very controversial move by the magazine's editor, Anna Wintour. When talking about the criticism, she noted that it would be a misstep to ignore the couple's influence, and she made the choice to lead and deal with the backlash rather than follow. And all of that praise to the couple is, all well and good, until she gives them quite a backhanded compliment, saying, "I think if we just remain deeply tasteful and just put deeply tasteful people on the cover, it would be a rather boring magazine. Nobody would talk about us." And although I totally get what she's trying to say, calling the couple, deeply untasteful is definitely more than a little shady. But I mean, if anyone can shade anyone, it's Anna Wintour. She can shade whoever she wants. Alright guys, let me know what you're thinking about this one below. Which celebrity do you think was the shadiest, and how much do you trust the family? As you guys know, I personally love them so much, but I can also see times when it seemed that getting publicity is all that they really cared about. And at number 10, Kim Kardashian's tape. This is truly the scandal that started it all, and the Kardashians arguably would not be where they are today without the release of this tape. Right before Keeping Up with the Kardashians was set to air on E!, the intimate tape of Kim and her then boyfriend Ray J was leaked to the public and went insanely viral. The Kardashians got in a legal battle to try and get it under control, but it didn't work, and the tape was eventually sold to a media company and released. Kim said about the tape in a 2012 interview, quote, "I'm not naive to the fact that that's pretty much how I was introduced to the world. It was a negative way, so I felt like I really had to work 10 times harder to get people to see the real me. I felt humiliated." In the year since its release, it's been long rumored that the Kardashian family leaked the tape themselves to drum up publicity and a storyline for the show. And if that's the case, it totally worked. And at number 9, Kylie Jenner's lips. Kylie Jenner was once considered the ugly duckling of the Jenner sisters, and she was not treated the same way as the rest of her family. Because of her insecurities, she's gotten a lot of procedures and has become unrecognizable from her former self. However, following all these procedures, she is now considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. Kylie's first procedure was lip injections, and it was hard to deny that there was a huge difference in the size of her lips basically overnight. At first, she denied it and claimed it was all lip liner, but the public isn't stupid and we all knew it was a lie. Then later in 2017, she decided to fess up to the change and admitted she got lip filler because of an insecurity about the size of her lips. Later, she turned all the talk about her lips into a billion-dollar business, selling her Kylie lip kits, which was the first of its kind. And at number 8, Kim and Kris Humphrey's 72-day marriage. Kim's lavish wedding was considered the wedding of the century, and there was even a 2-part special created on E! To celebrate the big day. But since so much content was created out of the relationship, many questioned if the whole thing was just for show. Those accusations got even worse when it was revealed that Kim filed for divorce only 72 days after their lavish wedding. Kris even sued Kim at one point, claiming the relationship was fraudulent just for press. However, Kim clarified on a May 2017 appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen that she knew the marriage was doomed from the beginning. Quote, "I just thought, holy shit, I'm 30 years old, I better get this together, I better get married." And at number 7, Lamar Odom cheated on Khloe. This one truly breaks my heart because Khloe and Lamar were one of my favorite couples of all time. But sadly, this was when Khloe's bad luck with men would really start. It was revealed that during their marriage, Lamar cheated on Khloe countless times. They were married from 2009 to 2016, and in that time Lamar claims he slept with hundreds of women. He claimed later that he had a sex addiction. Khloe shared her thoughts on the news in a 2016 interview with Howard Stern. Khloe said, quote, "I was genuinely blown away. Like, when did he fit that in? I don't know." Then in an interview Lamar did in 2017, he revealed that after he got married to Khloe, women came out of the woodwork to try and be with him. Lamar added, quote, "If there's one thing I regret when I was married, it was having multiple affairs with different women. That wasn't the stand-up thing to do." Lamar later said he would get back with Khloe in a heartbeat. And at number 6, Kendall Jenner's Pepsi ad. Being in a Pepsi ad is a really high honor, and tons of celebrities like Michael Jackson and Cindy Crawford had the honor to be a part of one. So when the opportunity was presented to Kendall Jenner, she jumped at the chance. But it ended up causing the biggest scandal of her entire career. She was a part of a protest-themed ad in 2017 because at that time the Black Lives Matter movement was being heavily discussed in the media, and there was a lot of tension between protesters and law enforcement. But of course, using an important social movement to sell a can of soda rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and Pepsi and Kendall got tons of backlash. Pepsi pulled the commercial and issued an apology, while Jenner told Vogue in March of 2018 that her quote intention was not to hurt anyone, but it's still a huge stain on her reputation. Halfway number 5, Kendall and Kylie's t-shirts. One of the many business ventures the Kardashians developed was a clothing line for Kendall and Kylie, simply named after themselves. The clothing line was pretty successful until the girls released an incredibly insensitive t-shirt showcasing the faces of deceased artists like the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. After the release in 2017, Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, called the sisters out on Instagram, writing, quote, "The disrespect of these girls to not even reach out to me or anyone connected to the estates baffles me." Paris Jackson also commented on how tone-deaf the release was. Paris took to Twitter and wrote in part, quote, "As a huge fan of Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Floyd, I mean these bands literally helped shape who I am today. I can't condone this fashion. Legends like these who completely changed our world today, not just the music world, should be respected and honored, not turned into this." A photographer who shot one of the images also filed a lawsuit against the Jenners, but it was dropped in April of 2018, and the sisters pulled the shirts almost immediately. And at number 4, Kim's blackface scandal. Cultural appropriation and blackfishing are something the Kardashians are called out for pretty often. The worst backlash on this subject was when Kim released a campaign for KKW Beauty, and fans accused her of blackface. This is because in the photo, her skin color was significantly darker than what we usually see. Kim immediately took down the photos and apologized. She later told the New York Times, quote, "I would obviously never want to offend anyone. I used an amazing photographer and a team of people. I was really tan when we shot the images, and it might be that contrast was off." Kim then re-edited the photos to be more natural, and the launch went off without a hitch. And at number 3, Tristan Thompson cheats on Khloe. Sadly, cheating is something that Khloe has had to deal with throughout her entire relationship with Tristan. At first, when they got together, everyone was thrilled and he seemed like a great guy. But then, right before Khloe was set to give birth in 2018, leaked video showed that Tristan was out cheating on Khloe at a club. At the time, she was 9 months pregnant, and sadly she learned that he was nothing but a cheater who was not ready for commitment. A source close to Thompson told us exclusively, quote, "None of his friends are surprised by this and they all know that he cheats." Then more photos came out showing him taking a girl into his hotel room late at night, meaning this was clearly a pattern and not the first time. Khloe decided to stay with Tristan for the sake of her family, but this would not be the last time that he publicly embarrassed her. And at number 2, Tristan cheats on Khloe again. The phrase "once a cheater, always a cheater" is most fitting here, because after getting back with Khloe, Tristan cheated once again. To make matters worse, he cheated with close family friend of the Kardashians, Jordyn Woods. After this, Khloe was quick to call it quits. A source said, quote, "This time it hurts even more because the person who it was with is someone who knows very much what Khloe has gone through in the past year." A second insider said that Thompson is, quote, "just a cheater and doesn't care about anyone besides himself, his wants and his needs in the moment." Jordyn went on Red Table Talk after the scandal and confessed that they did kiss, but nothing more. Then unfortunately, after some time apart, Tristan and Khloe got back together in August of 2020, but have split again since. And finally at number 1, Kanye's presidential run. This scandal is unfortunate because at first it had nothing to do with the Kardashians, but during one of Kanye's campaign rallies, he spilled some major secrets about his relationship with Kim. The worst was when Kanye exposed that he and Kim almost terminated the pregnancy with their first child, North. A source told Us Weekly that the Skims founder was, quote, "deeply upset with Kanye for talking about their personal life and for making matters that are very personal to them and their family public." Then Kanye went off on Twitter, revealing even more secrets and even accusing Kim of cheating with rapper Meek Mill. 6 months later, Kim filed for divorce. Apparently, the pair had been living separate lives for many months, and Kim was just done dealing with Kanye's unpredictable behavior.